wrong with me? What is wrong with me? I've asked myself the same question thousands of times, and inevitably, I end up in the same space. Unanswered questions, tears streaming down my face and filtering through judgments designed to keep me in my place. It's hard to keep up the pace in a race you weren't meant to run. So after each day is done, I find myself trying to shake the weight of every opinion that I chose to take on. I pray that by dawn, the sun will make my way clear, that God will draw near, and I'll be able to shake this fear. But when I wake up, the thoughts, well, they're all still here. What's wrong with me? What is wrong with me? I spend so much time measuring myself against others' feats as if God is not my ruler. I go to lengths for approval, thinking it'll move me miles forward, but I only move inches towards my future if I move at all. I ignore God's call to see myself through his eyes because I just can't get past the litany of reasons that people choose to despise the light I try so desperately to hide. See, what if it's too bright? How many people will I lose if I say or do what's right? And when all is said and done, who will be there to comfort me at night? I stay stagnant, paralyzed in fright, which is the opposite of moving by faith and not by sight. Y'all, what is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? Who said I had to carry the burden of all this negativity? Just like Atlas, I hold the totality of 400 years of slavery, mixed with Jim Crow's limitations, wrapped up in the evaluation of what the media says that my blackness should be. My vernacular makes my intellect invalid. The texture of my hair is deemed unkempt. And no sooner do I grasp any semblance of self-esteem, y'all, it's gone. And I don't know where it went. And then I find myself giving birth to children who nurse the pain running through my veins. See, it's not their worry to carry either, but I just can't abstain from feeding these beliefs, so I subconsciously pass on my mistakes, my grief, my robbed innocence, my comfortable ignorance, and I wonder why these kids ain't doing much better. See, how can I expect the next generation to reflect what I cannot get together? But this question is not mine to answer. Not one time did God place this quandary in my hands, because in the whole of his plan, y'all, it doesn't even matter. He never asked what's wrong with me. He accepted who he created me to be, and that is all. Long before Chronos time, long before Adam made the fall, God knew there'd be a me. Flawed, yet flawless. Gifted with ability, willingness to learn, and ingenuity, and every part of me was no mistake. So when it comes to God, his take on who he created has always been clear. He said,
I reminded you several times not to operate in fear. Your design is without fault. Even though you as human are flawed, I made you to move in my purpose, to give me glory and awe. And how can you do that if you are paralyzed or paused? Who you are created to be is not unacceptable. It's intentionally designed and made to be relatable to those you are assigned to. So if you trust me, I can lead you and remove anything that reminds you of what I never said you were. And yes, sometimes it hurts. All the pain, all the pressure, you wonder what it's worth. But you were designed to birth generations who will declare my name on this earth. You are necessary, just as you are. So how can my creation be subpar.
So I no longer worry what's wrong with me. My blackness is sacred, as is my femininity. I give honor to my brothers as we walk in God's way. I give ear to my elders and what they have to say. I feast on food for my soul, digging into the meat of the word, since bread alone cannot sustain me. I pride myself on being fearfully and wonderfully made, so you'll never see just a plain me. I lift my eyes to the hills, since my help comes from the Lord, so you will not detain me. And above all, I guard my mind and my heart, so your foolishness will not entertain me. See, these are the things that are strong with me. So even when my heart is heavy, I know I lack no good thing, since I am aligned to the great I am. And even on those days where I feel I can't go on, he reminds me that I can do all things through Christ. And then he strengthens me. For when I am at my weakest, I rest in him to become my strongest. So even in my frailty, in your disapproval, or my naivety, there is nothing wrong with me. I am strong in my Father, and that is how it's supposed